Highlights from last year in Arizona. Just welcome you back to the Foot Solutions Grand Slam here at the JW Marriott. What a year it's been. Drew Felios alongside Rob Cassidy. And we've got medal matches now the rest of the way. This is where the competition really heats up. Matt Wright and Lucy Kovalova on the court right now. And they're going to be facing the Newmans, who just got done with a match moments ago.
That's right, Drew, and you can expect a different team out here on this court than we saw just recently from Lucy Kovalova and Matt Wright. They're no strangers to adjustments, and you can expect them to come out with a different energy and a different intensity that's going to work towards their goal of getting their way to that gold medal match. But Lindsey Newman and Riley Newman, you can see just offside here, just relaxing, ready as all get out, and ready to take care of business and send themselves to that gold medal match. It's going to be lightning no matter what, Drew, and I'm happy to be here, happy to be bringing it to you guys live. So, Drew, thanks for having me, man.
Just had a chance, absolutely, to check out our Roku channel. It is really special. So many different ways to watch this great event. The FTF, the Roku channel, is really, really fun place to watch the event, along with YouTube and ESPN as well. Beautiful day here, JW Marriott. As you see, one half of the Newman clan. That's Lindsey Newman. So the Newmans have been impressive. They've gotten better as the day has gone along. And this should be one of the best matches that we've seen all day long. Drew Felios, Rob Cassidy, having fun here at this great pickleball event. First stop in the PPA Tour. We are just getting started overall here in 2021.
Yeah, we got our players warming up, just refining those third shot drops as they get into this first medal match of the day. It's been a fantastic day of performance, these mixed doubles teams. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be great.
Just a great event, too. And if you haven't seen pickleball live, please come out and join us at one of these tour stops, of course, in Tampa next week, then St. George, Utah, 3 weeks from now. And the stops just get better and better. Newport Beach, California amongst the stops. Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got Atlanta, Georgia as well down the line. The cities that the Pickleball Tour visits is just incredible.
Yeah, get a paddle in your hands, guys. If you haven't yet, it'll be the best thing you ever done. Just be careful, though, because it might take up more of your time than you thought it would, because this game might fall under the category of addicted. Drew, have you got a chance to try it at all yet?
Yeah, I have, and it is the most addictive sport known to man right now. Pickleball. That's why it continues to explode. Mentioned yesterday, you walk into major sporting goods stores, they've got their own pickleball sections now as the sport continues to grow, and people like you continue to make a living off the sport. That wasn't the case 5 to 10 years ago. Right.
I mean, you know, we cherish the game and we give to the game. The game gives back. I mean, in all aspects of life, the game teaches us, and I mean, it's been just such a positive outlet for so many people that I know, in addition to myself. So happy to be here and happy to be a part of this game and its history with the PPA, the Pro Pickleball Association. Speaking of those sporting stores, you see that section. You know, you also might see some of these household names in that store as well. Matt Wright, Lucy Kovalova, Riley Newman, and Lindsey Newman. They're right there on those shelves as well. So, you know, there's no denying that the game is growing at an exponential rate.
Yeah, it certainly is. Officials getting together here. How about our officiating crew right now? They look like a group that is ready to go to work.
Yeah, they're soldiers. They got their General Don Stanley, and you know, they mean business, and we appreciate them big time. They bring a professionalism and kind of a sense of order to the game that the game really needs and thirsts for. So it's great to have them here, just making sure that the rules are put in place.
You talk about sense of order, too. Just listening to the organizers and watching them work, like Melissa McCurley over the loudspeaker, keeping everybody in line, making sure that bracket to bracket, game to game, everything is accounted for, and this great event continues to run smoothly.
Absolutely, a lot of hard work and a lot of players, you know, behind the curtain, and we're certainly thankful for them from not only a player's perspective but a spectator's perspective as well. Let's go, Drew. I'm hyped up, man. You know, I don't know who you're rooting for at home, but I'm rooting for some good old-fashioned, great world-class pickleball. I know Matt Wright and Lucy Kovalova are ready, and there's nothing but a game face on the faces of Riley Newman and Lindsey Newman. Don't let her lax composure fool you. The lion herself, Lindsey Newman, is ready to roar. Team Selkirk versus Team Onyx here in this bronze medal match. It's going to get better and better. You can't write it any better than this, folks. It looks like we're getting ready to get started.
Now, we've seen the Waters family throughout this week. We've seen the Johns family have success.
Okay.
Now the Newmans owning the moment.
Game 2, time in, 0-0-2.
In their home base here at Phoenix.
Tough
Point.
from Kovalova to start the match. On the board, Riley Newman, 1-0 start.
1-0-2.
Ooh, a curvy return from Matt Wright. Big smack.
Point.
One of the best eyes in the game. I got to give it to the Newmans, man. They just know when that ball's staying in,
2-0-2.
staying out. And, you know, part of communication is early. Lindsey Newman's the earliest with that out call.
Side out.
Saw Kovalova charging in, decided to take a pass on that ball.
0-2-1.
Correct decision as it sails long. Is there a rule to when to let a ball go? I know in volleyball, if it's above the waist and you're back behind, obviously you let it go. How about pickleball?
Nice. That's awesome to hear that volleyball perspective in terms of letting the ball out. In pickleball, kind of depends where you are. If you're at the kitchen line, there's kind of the general rule is if it's rising towards you and it's kind of at your collarbone or shoulder, it's going out. Oh, a nice Ernie shot from Newman as she pulls herself off that corner. Such a steady, stable player.
Second server. 1-2-2.
Fantastic. Not a chance of she falling in that kitchen. Great execution.
Oh, great exchange.
Point.
And with that point, I'm starting to feel it already, Drew. This match is going to get fiery.
2-2-2.
Drive down the middle. Oh, and a wonderful get from Newman as he regains his balance. That right fake sideline pushes middle. Again, Newman covers, but it's just out.
Point.
Unreal. And that's what it takes to take a point from the Newmans. Matt Wright's the guy for the job.
Yes. Point. Yes, sir. 3-2-2.
First lead for Kovalova and Wright. Oh, beauty from Lucy.
Point.
You can just sense. It took about a half-hour break at Matt and Lucy after falling to Johns and Geand. I think they took that loss personal.
Yeah, as they should and as they needed to you know, kind of have what we have right here, right now. You can already feel a different energy coming from that team.
Big time.
Side out.
We have a clash of wills here as, you know, Team Newman
2-4-1.
always wants it. And a great counter punch from Riley Newman. Feeling good after that one.
Attention players, John Hedberg, Kevin Moss. Hedberg, Moss.
And Kovalova wants them to double check the ball here. May have a little slice in it.
Final call.
Thanks. 3-4-1.
Ooh, curvy serve from Riley Newman. Cross-court pattern between the ladies, but Newman's really able to get involved there. Got some trust in their partners here.
Lucy and Lindsey back and forth here. Oh, very close.
Just a baseball swing from Lindsey Newman into Matt Wright, and that ball does sail deep. Let's take a look again. Oh, such a nice shot. Now, it's crazy when we get to watch these girls cross court, how, I mean, they're both similar in how steady and accurate they are, but they both have a very different approach to footwork. Lindsey Newman's very stable, set in where she is, whereas Lucy likes to kind of adjust to the best position possible every time, whereas Lindsey says, I am in the best position. It's just a different take on footwork, which is pretty interesting to see. at this high level, how there's different ways to get the job done. Oh, and a tag on Lucy.
Point.
That makes it 5-4. Say a
5-4-1.
tag, obviously, the terminology whenever you hit it at a player.
Yeah, there's many terms for it. Off the body, it's perfectly legal, and it is a point in your favor if you can have the ball make contact with your opponent.
Notice how Lindsey holds her racket kind of with a hand supporting on the back, or I say racket, paddle. That's
Yeah.
wrong terminology.
Nice, Drew. You caught yourself. You're good.
I have not made that mistake in a long time. My apologies. As Lindsey hits it into
Second
the net,
server.
but just the way she holds it, she almost uses that left hand to support it
Yeah.
the whole time.
So many advantages to the two-hand wield, and you know the Newmans are two of the best at it. If you're at home and you're looking to perhaps try your two-handed
Point.
nonsense, I'll call it. No, just kidding. But if you're looking to try those two hands, one of the best tips I could probably give is knowing when to disconnect. You know, you want to harness your two-hander, but sometimes you got to disconnect and go with that individual hand. But yeah, the two hands definitely provides a stability that leads to a lot of trust in Lindsey Newman's dinks.
Okay, 6-4-2.
6-4 lead now for the Newmans.
Third shot drive from Riley. She pulls the trigger, but Newman's best
Side
counter
out.
punches in the game, but the net comes out on top. He wants that one back for sure. Out of the air from Lindsey. Shows the Ernie, sends it to Matt. Riley gets to take some balls out of the air, dictating the point. Another Ernie look. Nice, Lucy stabilizes with a great cross-court dink. Matt takes his time, sets himself up. Another reset. Oh, the lob.
There it is.
Overhead to put it away.
Lucy Kovalova, great job staying patient on this point.
Yeah, the lob can fall into the category of, you know, underutilized. It can fall into the category of foolish. You know, you don't see it as much at the top level because players are so agile, so tall, so athletic that it's really hard to pull off. But it's a great weapon to have in your kit, you know.
Just a 1-point game here, game number 1. Mixed doubles, right to play for a championship here.
Huge counters into the reset. Matt pulls the trigger, gets himself into a little bit of trouble there.
Second serve.
It's so tough when you're in trouble like that to get out of trouble. You see Wright just backpedaling there, knowing not much he could do.
Right.
Point.
Except come right back and focus on the next point.
You're exactly right, Drew. You can't let your mistakes stick with you, and you're absolutely right there for Matt to just come back and
6-6-2.
dominate that next point like that. Build from it, keep it going. Let's see what they can do. Tie game.
Got to have amnesia in this great game.
Point.
Cannot let a point linger in your head, one that you didn't make, because score can quickly get out of hand just like that.
7-6-2.
A big swing from Matt and a newfound intensity in his eyes as they take the lead here in game 1.
Side out. Six, 7-1.
Here we go. Riley Newman serving to Matt Wright. 6-7-1. The drop. Newman gets huge.
Second server.
Looks like Lindsey's paddle just got a little stuck on the ground there on her swing.
6-7-2.
Team Selkirk serving to Team Onyx. Bronze medal match. Oh, and the perfect swing to the sideline. Talk about a heads-up play.
Point.
Can't do it much better than this. Lindsey Newman. Great backhand that time.
Goes back to it. She's just really able to dish it out at that kitchen line. Oh, a little deep there. Tie game here.
7-7-1.
Couldn't have asked for much more here in this medal game. Foot Solutions Grand Slam. Great to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying it. Another great day of competition. The final day here in mixed doubles. And there's another one that Lindsey Newman pulls out of her bag.
7-7-2.
Very similar styles of pickleball we're watching here. Not much margin of error. Matt Wright, there's that drop we're so used to seeing. Nobody does it better.
So good, so good. There's no indication that it's going to occur, except when the time is right, forcing that all-out sprint from Lindsey Newman. It's just such a great option, you know, instead of giving the ball right back to where your opponents are on that baseline. There's that traditional pattern between the ladies, but we get some male touches on the ball, trickler over the net.
Right.
Back into neutral.
Oh, Matt Wright needed a great shot, came up with one.
Point.
Awesome point there. Matt Wright coming out on top. Such a great battle. And a timeout call, just to regain some composure here.
1 minute.
Not letting this game get away from as it is the game to 11 now here, Drew.
9-7 lead from Kovalova and Wright over the brother-sister duo of Riley Newman and Lindsey Newman. We'll step aside, come right back. The 2021 Foot Solutions Grand Slam is brought to you by the PPA. Play where the pros play. By Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. By ChampionshipCourt.com, your professional pickleball network. Foot Solutions. Your feet are the foundation of your health. Let's take care of them for you. By Fila Pickleball. And by The Dink, the new player in pickleball. Back here to the Foot Solutions Grand Slam, following our hydration break, brought to you by Jigsaw Health.
9-7-2.
Enjoyed those Jigsaw commercials all weekend long.
Good stuff.
Now play resumes. This match has had a little bit of everything thus far. We've seen power, we've seen grace, we've seen speed, chemistry.
Oh, and just a change-up right into the chest of Matt Wright. Yeah, Drew, you're absolutely right. You know, this is definitely a different dynamic of a game than we've seen prior, where it's more of a power game or a little bit of a smash fest. This is more of a chess match we're kind of witnessing in that cross-court battle. Speaking of power, though, Matt Wright just pulling it out.
Thank you, Hannah.
There's a time to strike, and Matt knows when it is.
7-9-2.
7-9-2 now. Lindsey and Lucy. It's been fun to watch those two compete. Here today, that is in.
Point.
At least it looked like it.
Yeah, that
8-9-2.
patient game right into that explosive finish. Just waiting for the bomb to explode. That tick-tock of a dink rally.
Side out.
Newman was all over it. He knew she was going to pull the trigger there. He tried to be in position, but he wasn't there in time. Well executed by Lucy Kovalova.
9-8-1.
9-8-1 now. Remember, best 2 out of 3 here in this medal round.
Nice difference. We have Lindsey on this side now, where that cross-court female pattern is not there. It's a little different dynamic, but Lucy Kovalova dominates the point.
Point.
Lucy started a little shaky, but she is shaking off many of those cobwebs, and right now she's at the top of her game.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Great place
Point.
shot by
Game.
Matt Wright down the sideline for game one.
11-8.
Going to Lucy
2 minutes.
Kovalova and Matt Wright.
So 11-8 the final. Let's break down these final points. Rob, is Kovalova and Wright right now communicating effectively and executing as well as they can.
Right, so here we have Lindsey in front of and we had Lucy in front of Lindsey Newman, and that cross-court battle that we were used to, you know, wasn't exactly there. So Kovalova was able to go straight up with Lindsey, and, you know, she came out on top with that different pattern. But congrats to Matt Wright and Lucy Kovalova for pulling out game one. Here we go.
One game in the books here at the Foot Solutions Grand Slam. We'll step aside, come back to the JW Marriott in just a moment. First stop in the PPA here on Championship Court. Welcome back to the Foot Solutions Grand Slam. We're in between games here as we await game number 2. And Hannah standing by with Zane Navratil. Hannah, take it away.
Thanks, Drew. I am here with Zane Navratil, a pro player in his own right and a fierce competitor. Zane, watching this match courtside, who do you think has the advantage, and what do they need to do to capture this one?
Well, it's going to be tough to come back in 2 straight games for the Newmans, but I think something that would help them is spreading the ball out a little bit, keeping Matt honest a little bit more, because right now Lucy is really, really grooving that forehand dink and all of her dinks. She's in a really nice rhythm. Right as I say that, she missed a dink, but, you know, I think spreading the ball around will help them a little bit.
And Zane, in your opinion, who are the toughest players on tour to play against?
For sure. I actually really struggle against Matt. I can never really read where he's going to go with this shot. So he goes behind me really well. I move around a lot, and he always seems to catch me wrong-footed. But I'll tell you who the easiest person is to play against on the Pro Tour, and that would actually be Jeff Warnick. Jeff, he bothers a lot of people, but really doesn't bother me to play against him. I pretty much own him every time I play him, so I'd say he's probably the easiest.
Next up, we're going to bring Jeff Warnick aboard for an interview and get his response to this.
Yeah, I would love it. Please do. That'd be entertainment for everybody.
Thanks a lot, Zane. We're going to throw it back to the court. Sure.
No, good stuff. We need a little theater here. A little drama always helps the cause and the ratings as well, as Matt Wright emphatically puts one home.
1-0-2.
Very well said. A lot of great things from Zane Navratil there. Some good chum. He's a good partner. He's played with Jeff Warnick before. They've got some history, and they're quite the duo. I love his feedback on the court. You know, there's a plan A, you know, on what you need to execute, but also moving the ball around is super important essentially to disguise what that game plan is. I mean, discipline of executing the game plan has to be combined with giving your opponents different looks. So couldn't have said it better, Zane. Good stuff. Zane Navratil, a player to watch out for on this tour for sure.
Yeah, I got a chance to see him in our Friday coverage.
Nice get. The point continues. Oh, and on the corner, catches Riley a little off guard, perhaps snoozing. Will it happen again? Can't say. We'll see. It doesn't happen often. Great heads-up play from Lucy Kovalova.
Great hearing from Zane Navratil on the interview. Now, Rob, I got to ask you, as you see the emphatic
Second server.
slam there by Riley Newman, who are the best players that you have played against on the court?
0-1-2.
Or just the ones whose styles are the toughest to adjust to?
You know, I'm going to have to agree with Zane, and one of the first names that comes to mind is Matt Wright. You know, there's just so little indication of what he's thinking and what he's got in store for where he's putting that ball. It's so difficult to play against. And, you know, another name that comes to mind, conveniently for me, is on the other side of the net, Riley Newman. His movement is so on point. He's always in position. Probably, in my opinion, the best player on the move in the game while he's in motion. And, you know, like I said with Matt, Riley, he's the one who knows best what you're going to do with the ball. He knows where that ball's going, where you're putting it before you do. So very tough to play against, and here they are competing against each other on center court.
1-0 in favor of the Newmans. Down a game.
Tied out. Zero, 1-1.
Kovalova and Wright looking to get on the board here. And game number 2, not going to come this
Second
time.
server. Thank you.
Nice, Lucy Kovalova with a certain intensity.
Second server. Tied out.
Missed shot.
1-0-1.
It's time to build here for the Newmans. Lindsey Newman serving to Lucy. Looking to get on that board, get started. Riley
Second
with the
server.
point. Little ambitious, little anxious. Second server.
1-0-2.
Oh, beauty.
Point.
Such a good redirect by Lindsey Newman down the sideline of Matt Wright. Out of the air, full swing backhand down the sideline of Matt Wright. So good. The big poach, and a perfect example of Riley Newman knowing exactly what Lucy and Matt had in store for that and punishing him for it. So good.
Point.
Return just deep.
And now a 4-0 lead. Largest
4-0-2.
lead for the Newmans so far in this match.
Thank you.
Called deep and confirmed.
Point.
Matt Wright not crazy about that call.
5-0-2. Point. Timeout on the left. You'll be
And
serving
timeout,
6-0-2.
Kovalova
1 minute.
and Wright certainly want to talk about things
thereabouts.
trailing 6-0 and lead that ballooned in a bit of a hurry. So time for a hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health here on Championship Court. And we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Just outside the JW Marriott here in Phoenix. Kovalova and Wright still looking to get on the scoreboard here in game 2. But they won game 1 over the Newmans. Lindsey and Riley. Drew Felios with Rob Cassidy. Anna Johns also pitching in on our coverage here today.
Time is in.
Matt Wright.
6-0-2.
Matt Wright getting a lot of respect here in Phoenix. Tough player to game plan against. Here he is at his best. Just out.
Tied out.
It's a great eye from Lucy to let that ball go. Matt Wright looking to take
0-6-1.
control. Good timeout, getting the ball back in their hands here. 0-6-1. Matt Wright
Point.
applying the pressure to Lindsey there.
1-6-1.
Sometimes toughest just to get that first point. Once you get that first point, things start to roll from there.
Second server. One 6-2.
This is
Point.
incredible how Riley Newman is able to keep some of those points alive.
right? You know, Riley makes you hit that additional ball, but, you know, Matt Wright's more than willing to get another put away back down on him, so. All good stuff.
Side out.
All right, well, they've broken the seal before they side it out here. Riley Newman's got the ball now, 6-2-1. Matt Wright giving him a hard time, taking the net. He's doing a great job of it. Riley on him for the poach. Lindsey stays in position on his back, but Matt Wright.
Second server.
It seemed like Riley got caught in no man's land a little bit that time.
Right. Yeah, that balance of finding, you know, you don't want to catch yourself doing too much. And, you know, that's not easy because these opponents demand a lot from you. Big swing to the sideline.
A little too long. Slowly getting back into this match.
We're familiar with the dink strategy, you know, like making your opponent play the bounce and slowing it down and whatnot. You see Matt Wright also kind of forcing Lindsey to take that ball out of the air, which, you know, she's very good at doing, but, you know, giving her less time to adjust to the ball, less time to make a decision on what she wants to do with it. You know, it's just another example of dictating. Nice point, Riley. But forcing your opponent to take that ball out of the air is very strong as well.
2-6-2.
Riley wants it.
Oh, Matt Wright hit that one though a little bit long, just unloaded. A little too much. That's one you let get away right there.
Definitely. You can see that they're on the same page. Matt Wright coming over when he wants to. Lucy giving him room to do just that. Excuse me, Lucy Kovalova giving him room to do just that. Trying to pick on Lindsey here. Looking for her to give them an opportunity. She cracks the ball back into the resets. A little high. Awesome point, but what appeared to be a little more of an overextension from Riley Newman again, just kind of making him, extending himself a little big and kind of almost ruining that perfect positioning of Team Newman. Off the net. And a watch it means, you can hear a watch it call from Lindsey Newman's means, don't touch that ball, let it bounce, that ball's going out, you son of a gun. If you hit that, I'm telling mom.
7-2 deficit, trying to get a side out here.
Newman's working their way towards the net again, unsuccessful.
Side out.
And before you know it, it's 2-7. These points are so close, the scoreboard's a little different. That's a great shot by Riley.
Second server.
So Kovalova and Wright talked about the Newmans hailing here from the Phoenix area. Kovalova and Wright both from Wichita, Kansas. Wichita, what a hotbed that has become for pickleball. Some of the elite players in this game from the heart of the nation.
Tough ball there. Absolutely, Drew. And, you know, I feel like Matt and Lucy are kind of a reason for that it's such a hotbed in Wichita. They have such a strong influence on the area.
3-7-2.
I'll let Jay DeVilliers and Pat Smith correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that Matt Wright and Lucy might have had an extremely influential, positive influence on their game.
So an 8-2 deficit for Kovalova and Wright here in game number 2. As Newmans try and tie this up. And a hydration break now, as our hydration break's brought to you by Jigsaw Health. We step aside and we'll come back here to Championship Court in just a moment. Great to have you with us here on Championship Court, the Foot Solutions Grand Slam and the mixed doubles here in the medal games with the Newman clan of Lindsey and Riley taking on Lucia Kovalova and Matt
One time
Wright.
out on each side. Time's in, 4-7-2.
Lindsey looks for the around the post, but it's just not as there as much as she wanted it to be.
Matt,
the ball sails deep.
That didn't hit you. Okay. Point. 5-7-2.
Matt Wright getting big. The Newmans are back, working their way up.
You know, that's what I love about this great game.
Point.
In the game of tennis, when you have those lobs, those putaways, it's usually a putaway. In pickleball, it's still very much alive.
Right, the point's not just over yet.
6-7-2.
Unless, of course, Matt Wright is doing the full extension, getting low and putting that ball away. You could even hear him with a little bit of a grunt on that put away. Fantastic form. I think I just learned a thing or two.
They're within one. It's been a long climb uphill here in game number 2 for Kovalova and Wright.
Lindsey Newman neutralizes that attack, puts it back into. Oh!
How about Lucy? A little fist bump. Think she wants this?
A let's go from Lucy
7-7-2.
Kovalova. Catches Riley off guard. It's such a great shot. I mean, I don't know if anybody executes shots down the sideline better than Lucy Kovalova. Fantastic. Riley Newman, one of the hardest to get it past, and she gets it done with ease. Newman's forced to let that ball go to his sister, Lindsey.
See how far left Lindsey was operating that time. Almost off the court, and Kovalova makes them both pay.
Yep, at this level, that ball is way too high. Riley
Timeout on the right.
Riley
You'll be
calls the
serving at
timeout
8-7-2.
immediately.
1 minute.
Yeah, lately
Yes, sir.
Lindsey and Riley very much on the defensive. It just get the feel that Matt Wright, Lucia Kovalova starting to play more offensive pickleball, and they have climbed right back into this game too.
Just like that, it's a one-point game. Riley Newman and Lindsey, usually when they take those timeouts, they're very stoic. They don't even have a conversation. The game plan is already very well established. It's all about execution for them. What I think it's going to come down to is Riley's going to need to stay ready, and he's going to have to trust Lindsey. And Lindsey's been doing a very good job the whole time, but he just has to kind of have that willpower to not spread himself out too thin on the court and take care of his responsibilities. You know, as we saw, if he stretches himself out too much, that opens up windows for Lindsey to punish him down that sideline.
Now, we mentioned Lindsey and Riley, of course, brother, sister. Lucia, Matt, girlfriend, boyfriend. Different type of chemistry on the court that translates to.
Yes,
Time's
they're
in.
very strong
8-7-2.
couple of players.
A lot of pressure on Matt, though. You have to win.
Lucy will hide the fridge on you.
Oh, she certainly will.
Point.
And now we're tied at 8. Rather 9-7.
We'll abbreviate
Pardon me.
this one. That was BA. Lucy
9-7-2.
Kovalova is dialed in the zone and taking care of business. We're at 9-7-2 as they get closer and closer to putting this match in the books.
I believe this is a 7-0 run here for Kovalova and Wright. They were once trailing 7-2. As they come
Side
back
out.
here, the Newmans.
A clutch put away by Lindsey Newman, bringing it to that sideline to get that side out. It's starting to feel like Lindsey and Riley are starting to guess on what they need to do to get the job done. They put Lindsey in front of Lucy, and that seemed to work for a second there. Here they are looking to take that net. Riley Newman working that back line. Oh,
Point.
and what felt like such a pinnacle point right there. I mean, oh my goodness, hold your breath, folks. Here we are, 1-point game here. Game 2 of this bronze medal match.
8-9-1.
It's going to be out.
Point. Thank you.
Called
Point.
out by our line judge.
Ball's confirmed out. Tie game, folks. 9-9 on the 1 here in game 2. Lindsey and Riley looking to push it to a game 3, which would be incredible. Lucy Kovalova, Matt Wright looking to get that ball back. Pressure from Riley. Oh, and an unreturnable ball off.
Second server.
Second server. Riley's doing everything right there. He let Lindsey he trusted Lindsey to get that back. Got to do everything right and then some here in this world-class pickleball setting we have here on Championship Court.
9-9-2.
9-9-2. And there's Wright, right between the legs
Side
of
out.
Riley Newman.
It's 2 unluckies off the net in a row to swing it back over to Rat and
9-9-1.
Lucy. This will be the most critical hold in the game for Team Newman. Riley with the conservative puts to Lucy. Lucy playing the middle. Matt following suit. Matt gets to do what he wants with the ball. Out of the air and not attacked. Forces Riley to make sure he's ready.
Could be the biggest point of the match so far.
My heart rate is elevating. Holy smokes, folks.
Not only the biggest, now the longest.
There's the swing into the reset. Riley takes it out of the air.
How about this?
Lindsey with the reset. Oh, Lindsey with the reset.
How good can it get?
Oh,
Point.
What an emotional point.
a missed dink by Lindsey Newman as my heart pounds out of my chest. What a critical,
10-9-1.
incredible point here in game 2.
Now the first match point. Lucy wants it.
And there it is, guys.
Game match.
Lucy keeps it on court for match. Unbelievable.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Unbelievable match.
Well done.
11-8, 11-9, Kovalova and Wright had to come back in game 2 to take care of business. And Rob, I'll tell you what, the big points, they owned it, especially late.
Yeah, way to stay solid by Matt and Lucy. Lucy jumps the gun here, finds the hole to put it away. Textbook, ending the match, sending them to the gold medal match against Simone Jardim and Ben Johns. Fantastic match by Riley and Lindsey. So much patience, so much incredible play. Just watching the game played right. It's always a treat to watch Lindsey Newman and Riley Newman play the game. Drew, thanks for letting me share these moments with you. It's great to be here with you, man.
Yeah, what a great time we're having. And we got much more to come. The Foot Solution Grand Slam from Phoenix is back after this.